Well, she's a molester. Everything she was doing was very, very meticulous. Like, she knew what she was doing, keeping it really hot in there. Like, oh man, girls could be rapists too. You won't forget that.
I mean, it's not like she forced herself on me.
She implied herself on you. If a guy did that, like, we're done.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Welcome to the Spooky Dooky podcast, the only horror podcast for you social outcasts, hosted by me, Derek, and
me, Mike.
So this is our first time doing a TV show. Is it really a TV show? It's a Netflix show. It's a series.
Actually, did you know it was a Lifetime special series?
Really?
Yeah. In September it came out, and for some reason Netflix is branding it as their own, but whatever, it got more eyes on it.
Anyways, the name of the show is called You. A clever bookstore manager relies on his savvy internet know-how to make the woman of his dreams fall in love with him.
Wow, that's a really brief one. Yes, it's that.
His savvy internet know-how.
They're saying he is?
That he uses internet savvy know-how to make the woman of his dreams fall. Oh, I guess he did.
He's a manipulator through social media and being a stalker.
Yeah, I guess I want to count that as being internet savvy.
I mean, yeah. It's more just knowing how to stalk people, I guess.
All right, so the series is about a bookstore owner by the name, well, not owner, but manager by the name of Joe. Joe is a great guy. And he meets a girl by the name of Beck. I forget how to pronounce her.
It's name. Like Glenderdale or some shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Beck is her last name. They call her Beck.
Right. Which is weird for a girl, but what am I to say in 2018?
Yeah.
I mean 2019.
Whoa! Okay, yeah. Yeah, that girl was really, really pretty. That was
she?
I think she was really pretty, and I think that Joe was pretty, like, less than average. He has an annoying, skinny face. He looked like Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but ugly.
Maybe that's why I like him. Did you watch Dexter?
No.
This gave me extreme Dexter vibes.
Stop commenting about that.
Yeah. Only reason I think this, because Dexter's a serial killer. Joe is not a serial killer. Well,
it's open to interpretation.
Yeah, I guess, because Joe doesn't like killing people.
Yeah. This is where we go back to the conversation we have every podcast: sociopath and psychopath. He's a sociopath.
Also, since this is an entire TV show and not a movie, we're going straight into spoilers.
Yeah, we're not even pulling punches.
Right. Yeah. So I don't even know where to start.
For 10 episodes, Joseph stalks this woman, and my first thought in the first couple episodes is, why are you living in New York City and you live with your blinds open and you're just having sex in front of the window and doing all your daily activities? So he's able to build a rapport about everything about her because he's standing outside, which for some reason he thinks is camo as his little hat and jacket, which in this whole entire show, did he ever get caught? Maybe he got caught once while following her in the park. But before that, he's just walking around her, behind her. Like, I know hiding in plain sight's a thing, but Jesus Christ, I didn't like that, but they needed to do that.
My biggest gripe with this show is none of these characters are likable.
Because people who defended Joe, I don't know why they were doing that. I didn't like Joe. And there's people who like Beck, which I do, but also I don't defend her because she was kind of a shitty person too. Every one of this person was a shitty person. So Beck's best friend Peach, which is the daughter of writer J.D. Salinger.
Right? How do you know that? I don't know.
Yeah, and she's like a rich, spoiled. She's very similar to Joe, which is I thought they were going to allude that they were going to get together or something because they're so crazy. They would have made a great killer couple. Pun intended. And So Joe, his first kill, what was it?
Um, let me just look up this name before you even guessing it.
I remember. It's Benji.
Benji. Yep.
So Joe works in a bookstore, and in the basement, there's like this box that is perfectly temperatured. It's like air sealed. It's locked. It's like a
It's to preserve the books, the first edition of books, so they
and the
won't like fall
collectible.
apart. Yeah.
And
And
Joe is obsessed with that room.
is he obsessed with it?
Well, they find out later. Well, how far are we gonna jump around this?
I
Depends.
mean, it doesn't matter.
He got locked in that room as a kid, so now he has like some sort of weird thing with the room. And eventually he locks Beck in it. And also this character Benji, he locks Benji, which was the guy that she was seeing at first, and he got jealous of. He's like, "Who the fuck is this?" When he was stalking her, and he's like, "This guy's not good enough for you." And Joe has this weird warped rationale where he's like, "I'm gonna protect you." The one person that didn't deserve to die, I think, is Benji,
Yeah, I mean, he was a douchebag. He should have
and he
died.
and he accidentally killed somebody through hazing through in college. He's still a bad move, still kind of scummy, but I felt kind of empathy for him dying.
Okay, the way he killed Benji though, like I don't know, like I'm not trying to defend it, but I'm just saying, Benji's a habitual liar, and Benji told him he had a peanut allergy, and
He
Joe just
tested
wanted to
it.
test it, right?
Yeah. So Joe wasn't planning on killing Benji, but he has this theory that like, okay, I'm what's good for Beck. I'm gonna get rid of this guy. He's cheating on you. He's a bad guy. And eventually he dies and starts rotting away in that like enclosed case or whatever, and he has to get rid of the body. And that's his first kill. And he's for some reason like strangely okay with it. He's very like a cool collected kind of guy, very meticulous, very like always knows what he's going to do next. Always thinks he's smarter than everybody. And what do you do with that body?
Burned it. Well, he knocked out his teeth and then burned the body.
Yeah, in the forest in a bonfire, right before a bunch of people walked up to him, and he's like, "Oh, you're making a bonfire? It's a pretty big one." He's like, "Yup." He just lit it just in time. So very fortunate for Joseph. As the story progresses, Beck at first wasn't feeling him. She was kind of like trying him out, maybe leading him on because she doesn't know what's good for her apparently, and she's still fucking on Tinder and doing all these things. Like she's kind of an erratic person where she just like gets influenced what's around her. So her friends are shitty, so she's kind of shitty by default. But like you could
Right.
tell there's like some in her that he wants to save. He thinks he could save her, and eventually they end up together. And the next person he goes after was the therapist? Or was there one more?
No, it was mostly just Peach.
So Peach doesn't think that Joe is good enough for her because Peach actually, we find out, is obsessed with her and in love with her, which Joe finds out by stalking. Joe's stalking skills are so crazy. He sleuths around houses and gets laptops, puts laptops back, hides in plain sight. Like he's a
He's
ninja.
great.
He's a ninja.
He's
And
perfect.
he finds out on her laptop she has blackmail on everybody. So
Mm,
one of them was Beck, and he doesn't want to go out of her like he can't say that he found it because like
right.
he's creeped and found it. So he has to make her find it out on her own. And after they stop becoming friends, when she finally realizes that Peach is a manipulator, um, she threatens to kill herself, which is a
Not even
that's
threatened. She attempts to kill herself, but it wasn't really an attempt,
she faked it.
right? Because for some reason she's like, um, she's weird. I forget what it's called. Um, is that a form of OCD when you gotta log everything you do?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So she logged like how much medication she took. She wrote it down in her journal because she logs everything. And she wrote down in her journal how much she took, and Joe read it and realized that that's not strong enough to kill her. And Peach actually saw Joe reading it, and she was like, "You can't tell her that you saw that because that would mean that he was snooping around. And
Yeah.
just, it's good. I don't,
Um.
I wish they would have, like, I don't know,
Do you think
made that
Peach has
competition.
empathy?
No, no,
So
not
she
at all.
would be a psychopath.
Right. And I wish they would have competed, like, putting them, I don't know. I wish there was a bigger feud between Joe and Peach. Like, I wish that was the whole entire season. That would have been just her, like, elevating her craziness.
She had so much leverage on him too.
Right. But it doesn't happen because he tries to kill her by going to the park. He started jogging where she jogs, and he runs up behind her and hits her, and she gets knocked out. I guess he thought she died, but he was with Beck, and she got a call saying that Peach was in a hospital, and Joe was surprised that Peach was still alive.
That stone he used will come back. That will come back.
It came back.
No, it's going to. Spoiler alert, there's a season 2.
Oh,
There's gonna
oh.
be. But like there's no way he barely threw it far away from that body. I was thinking that the thing is while I was watching the show, it was a lot I don't know if you found it predictable. I did. I'm
I
very, very observant. I'm very weird like that. Maybe it's my OCD, maybe it's just like the way I am. But like when he was in Peach's house stalking her, like after he struck her with the fucking stone or whatever, and they didn't know he was in the house, and he pees in a cup because he was
he
standing
said he
there
was
for
gonna
so long.
double back for it.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't coming back.
I mean, that was pretty obvious. He had a concussion because he got into a car accident beforehand. He didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But that didn't really even come back.
What, the pee?
Yeah.
The pee is coming back. The Peach after Peach dies because she finally finds him in the house and she's like, Joseph, what are you doing here? Which I hate people like her. He's always
She
like,
also has
it's
a gun, by the way.
yeah, it's Joe. He wants to be called Joe, and she's one of those entitled pieces of shit who likes to be like, I hate people. People call me Michael just like when they know I don't like it. It's just like, dude, shut up. So she has a gun, and they're fighting over the gun, and one of the episodes ends with like 6 or 7. It goes towards the sky, and you hear a gunshot, and Peach died
And
in
Joe made it seem
self-defense.
like a suicide.
Yeah, because hey, she was suicidal apparently. Which apparently though, Salingers don't kill themselves, so that's a storyline that's still going.
Well, she wasn't well. She, she wasn't really suicidal.
Yeah. So Peach parents family hire a private
Yeah,
investigator,
yeah,
and they start stalking around the friends and Joe. And Joe gets interviewed by him, and he got caught in a couple of lies and didn't seem very convincing, but got out of it somehow. But
yeah.
and they told him that they found evidence there, and he's like, "Oh," and he thought back. He's like, "Dude, fuck, I forgot to get rid of that piss."
But then he was like, "Well, can they really even find DNA in pee?
Why wouldn't they be able to?
Can you?
Why would they
Like
not be able to?
that's I don't know if you can.
Yo, I'm googling it right now.
Me too.
Okay, it's erased now, but I really think you can. Why the hell wouldn't you? They could do blood, they could do semen, they could do
Wow.
anything.
Urine itself does not contain DNA.
Really?
I
Wow, he got
didn't think it
lucky.
did.
How'd they catch R. Kelly? Haha, modern day
Damn.
jokes.
Oh wait, he peed on that girl.
Yeah, 10 years ago. Boondocks, head of its time. Anyway, so he kills Peach, and the private investigator is on his ass. And Beck and Joe are going through some stuff after that because Beck's in a depression, and Joe doesn't know what to do. And then she basically gets rid of him spontaneously. And at first, Joe's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna let you go," but then he's such a crazy, obsessive person. He starts dating. He has a neighbor, and he has a child that he looks after. His name is Paco. There's a mom, which I can't remember her name, and I guess that's the mom's friend.
Um, I guess I don't know. Or did
Or
they work together?
coworker? Or coworker?
Yeah,
What
they
was her
might have
name?
worked. Oh, I don't remember. I want to say Karen, but I can't. Oh,
No, no, I
Candace.
think it's
No,
Karen. I think it's Karen.
is it Karen?
Yeah. And
It is Karen. I see it.
yeah.
Okay.
So he starts dating Karen and he's like, everything's pretty okay. This is
She's
okay.
black.
Yes. um shit. Everything's okay. He's like, oh, this is pretty nice. This is not stressful. But thing is, he misses the stress. He liked being controlling with Beck. He liked being her savior. So
Right.
Beck went on a hiatus because Beck is a writer and she needs to get her head together to write. So she have a social media break and deletes all her things. So he's like, I can't be happy that you're okay if I don't know you're okay. So he
Right.
starts stalking her again. We're just racing right through this series.
Can you relate to any of this? Like,
Stalking?
not stalking, but checking in on exes.
Yeah, yeah, the thing is, I'm still every person I've
Oh
been with,
yeah.
I'm still fucking friends with. So like, I mean, not to this extent, but you're always kind of like, huh, like that's the guy now, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like it's so creepy, but then it's just like I feel like everybody does this, but just not to this extreme measures. And it's just like you
At
feel
least it was his
weird because you can
current
relate
ex.
to this dude.
At least it was his current ex. Like it didn't happen that long ago, so him
Right.
being so weird about it isn't actually too weird. So he basically approaches Beck and is like, hey, like I wanted to leave you alone, but I can't after throwing a rock through a window. Typical Joe. And yeah, they start cheating. He starts cheating on Karen. Karen deserved better. Hashtag Karen deserved better.
And Karen was relieved when Joe finally leaves her. Oh well, actually, we're going way far ahead. Okay, so the reason they broke up in the first place, Beck and Joe, was because Joe was freaking out because she was like keeping a secret, and it was the
Therapist.
therapist, and he thought that she was cheating on him with the therapist, and she was just like, "Why would you think that? You don't trust me. If the trust isn't there, then it's no point in us being together and all this stuff." And that's when the relationship started going downhill. And then they finally actually broke up. And then he ends up seeing that therapist, and that's how he found out that she just needs to get away from him to better herself because he went through the therapist's laptop, and he ended up seeing the therapist regular.
Therapists usually don't record their sessions. That was weird.
Look,
He had
it's
he
John
had
Stamos. He does whatever he wants to do.
okay, John Stamos and his Audi belly button. Yeah, and okay, at that point, did you believe that he didn't do it? Like the therapist? I still knew he did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because he's John Stamos.
I mean, yeah, and also just like, yo, Beck always seems sus.
She's so shitty.
I mean, Joe is worse, but
No, she is just no.
it's okay that you're sexist, but it's fine.
No, he didn't cheat.
Okay,
I feel like people who cheat and
are worse than murderers.
yes, I feel like people who cheat and make their significant other feel crazy when they're being accused for cheating are the absolute worst.
It's typical. They can't. It's denial. They don't want to own up to their own wrongs. They're like, well,
She deserved to die. All
wow.
cheaters deserve to die.
You know who deserved to die? So Paco, he looks after this kid, gives him books and whatever, and he has an abusive stepdad who beats up his mom. Eventually, they have a very strong relationship, and that's how you know he has empathy throughout the whole series. It's like, oh, he looks after this kid, always gives him food when he's hungry, and like lets him hang out at the bookstore away from the abusive dad. And Paco's losing it, and he's like, he wants to do something about it. He wants to save his mom, so he tries to kill his stepdad with a bat, and his dad's like, "You little fuck," and wakes up and just like runs after him, and he's hiding behind a garbage can, and he's about to like beat up Paco, and then Joe slits his throat.
It's
Think he
not
slits.
really a slit. He
Yeah,
stabs him in the throat.
yeah, yeah.
Quick little stabby stab.
So Joe is his kill count is now at 3 at that point, right? Or is it 4?
Mm, 3. Did he
Is the
ever kill the
therapist dead
therapist?
yet? Yes. Wait, no. Therapist's alive.
Okay, right. Right. He never. Okay, because that's the end of the.
Yeah.
But
And I'm pretty sure he buried um that guy in the therapist's backyard to frame him.
really?
Or was it Beck? I don't
No,
know.
he buried Beck in the there's.
Wait. Shit. Okay. Keep going. There's a lot of theories that Beck is still alive.
Really?
Yeah. You never
Mm,
see her die on camera. And think about it, is a big part of why Joe is like this. Here's the reason. Besides the fact that he had a drill sergeant stepfather that locked him in a box, his not first girlfriend, his last girlfriend, Candace, he was obsessed with, cheated on him.
right.
And I had a point here, but I'm losing it. So you think everyone thinks that he killed Candace because she moved away to
Right.
Paris or something? Oh no, Italy. I don't know. And what?
You think? Uh, I just had a thought and then it went away. You think he like convinced her to leave,
I don't know what it
and
is,
he
but
convinced Beck to leave too, just like he did Candace?
I think that because the ending of this is the therapist gets framed for the murders. Joe is off scot free, but the private investigators like this is bullshit. I know better. They just
Right.
show him reading a paper, and Candace is in the last scene and says like, "Hey, babe, we gotta talk." And
Bunny, not
Bunny,
Babe.
babe. Oh, they hate Babe. All right, yeah, that was their joke. Bunny. That's actually technically worse, I think.
Yes, it is.
Um,
Well, Beck-headed Babe.
yeah. So she shows up, and that's the end of season 1. They renewed it for season 2. Maybe we're gonna find out that he forced her to go away, and maybe Beck is still alive. I think that Beck might still be alive. You don't see her. You see her get strangled down the stairs, but you don't see her die. They think she's dead. They publish her book. It starts selling. They sell it to bookstore. Everyone's grieving and whatever. But I don't know.
Then who body would be in the backyard?
The that guy, the
But
guy that he
his
went missing.
wife's
They never
but
found his body. He went missing.
mm,
So the stepdad went missing, and he could have buried that body. Could have buried Beck, but I don't know. There's something about that. Like you never saw Candace die. They just alluded to that she was dead, and then she came back in the last scene. So you never know. Season 2, Candace and Beck versus Joe. That'd be something.
I forgot
Obviously,
about that. You
there's a
think he killed
lot.
his brother? You think he killed Candace's brother?
That would have been his first kill, right? Or no? Or did
Nah,
they
his
show at the
first
time
kill
when?
was the Candace's
Oh, we
A&R.
didn't mention that.
Yeah,
Candace cheated on
Joe,
Joe with I guess like a record.
label man. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not a music biz.
And he's on a ledge of a building smoking a cigarette, and he's like, "Why would you do this, man?" He's like, "Dude, I had no idea. Honestly, I'm sorry." She's like, "Bitches be bitches, right?" And you see him break and just like pushes him off the ledge. He's like, "Hey, you want a hit of this?" I think it was like weed or something. He's like, "Yeah, I'll take a hit." Just pushes
No,
him
it
off.
was cocaine. He took a bump.
Oh, bump. Either
Yeah.
way, good play on words, and just like,
Oh yeah, that is funny.
yeah. uh,
uh,
we
good
raced
old Joe.
through that series. Don't even watch it. We just told you everything about it. Obviously, there's not anything that we're missing.
I mean, shoot, I went through this whole series in one day. So
Took me 3 days, but wow, it was a for a lifetime thing. That's really good. Obviously, we're gonna give it spookies. We like
yeah,
it.
fuck
We
yeah.
like it. I think everyone liked it. The Rotten Tomatoes score is high. IMDb, like, wow.
I don't really like shows like this either. Oh.
Yeah, like my friend told me about it. She's like, you'll really like it. And she's a friend that I trust because she never like tells me to try anything or whatever. But when she does, it's always like fucking good. And I'm like, I was like, oh, all right, because I saw all the girls freaking out about it. I'm like,
Right. That's why I
this
didn't want to
must be
watch it.
something for them or something.
Yeah.
This must be like something I'm not gonna enjoy. You watch that first episode and you're like, oh shit, this guy is fucked up. I need to see what happens.
See, I didn't even want to watch it because everybody was talking about it. So I'm like, whatever, I don't care. Because like the people on Twitter talking about it are like, they watch stuff that I would never watch.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
But I was on Netflix and I was bored and I saw the synopsis. I didn't know this was the same show everybody was talking about. And I just read the synopsis, like, oh, I guess I'll give it a try. And then I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, I like it. And I was only 10 minutes in.
I was talking to people's parents about the show. This show is a hit. It's really doing well. People are watching this. Between
Good.
this and Bird Box, Netflix is having a pretty good month and a half.
And then that new Jake Gyllenhaal movie is gonna put it over the top. They
The
just need to,
promos we keep giving this man.
they need to just, put all their money to their Steve shows and, cancel 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah, I never watched that because I heard it's triggering, but also it looks
It's
stupid.
awful. It's awful. I don't even
Well,
want to
that one
talk
gets a
about it.
Dooky. Derek saw it.
But
Wow,
yeah,
that's Netflix's you is a lot to take in, but it's definitely you don't get bored. It's cool because I've never got bored while watching that. I didn't space out. I was gripped.
yeah. Um, Also, the show like proves that reading is not good for you because only weirdos read.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I have all these books on my desk, but like, what is this book? Portraits of Introspection. What kind
Oh
of name
man,
crap is
I heard
that?
of that one. Amazon did not give it a good review.
But good thing I can't read.
What the hell was I gonna say about this thing? We basically skipped over a lot of things because we're not gonna say it's a 10 episode thing. We're not
Right.
gonna tell you every bit of it. We just told you some interesting parts about it just to sum it up. But it's definitely worth the watch. There's a lot of good character development in this in a short period of time, which is very, very rare, I think.
And even if you listen to this whole entire thing and you haven't seen the show, knowing everything that you know and you still watch it, you still will enjoy the watch. Like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, and you will enjoy the journey.
From what this show is about, a guy stalking a girl, it doesn't seem like something I'd usually like, but hey, they executed it really, really well. Do think sometimes maybe some people should have caught him, but oh, you know what's an important part we left out? Like the
But
biggest conclusion is when Beck finds out that he's crazy.
how do we miss that?
Yeah, we missed the climax. We're just like, okay, bye, go watch it. Dude, he hides shit in his ceiling and he has her underwear, a photo of her he stole, some teeth, I don't was there else anything else in there?
uh, all her clothes and underwear. Did you say that?
Yes,
Okay.
which he jerks off to.
um. Oh, you said her phone, right?
No, I didn't. Oh,
Yeah.
that's another important part that me and Derek love to leave out.
We also messed up. Like how they met. Well, not how they met, but how they actually started dating.
We're just going
The train
backwards at this
tracks.
point. On the train tracks, he followed her and she was drunk and fell on the train tracks, and he actually saved her life. So I guess it's good that he was there, but at the same time, he wasn't expecting to save her life.
Right.
And he's like, "You're the guy from the bookstore." And he's like, "Yeah,
She she pukes on him.
yeah." And
It's hot.
the phone, he steals the phone. She thinks she lost it, but she's hooked up to the cloud. They do reference a lot of social media things in here, like Facebook and Twitter and whatever, to be like they're very social media is very important to this. I guess so. That's why they say it's tech savvy. Is that internet savvy? Is that what they
Yeah,
call them?
internet savvy. Yeah.
So he has her phone, so she's always seeing the messages about him and where's she going, and this is why he has so much trust issues. And remember, all this trust issues stems from Candace fucking him up. Did you believe Beck was going to end up with him and be like, "I accept you for who you are"?
No.
Yo, straight up, I thought she had Stockholm syndrome.
That soon?
I don't know. They had a really good connection, and like, I did this all for you, and like the way that things play out with like media and like when people obsess over them, they romanticize weird things, you know. So it's like, oh my god, he killed for her. Oh my god, I love this couple. They're killer couple, and I don't know. I kind of thought it was happening. I kind of bought it. As much as the show is predictable, I was kind of believing that Beck was like, she wrote the thing on the typewriter. I'm like, oh wow, that was pretty heartfelt and sincere. But she escaped, but didn't escape for too long because Paco didn't let her out of the basement.
I'm so upset that you told me that you don't think Beck is dead because now
I've
I'm
been
really starting to
yo, no
believe
one
it.
looked into it after they're watching. They're like, that show is so good. I was at a thing the other day, and I'm like, hey guys, like who come over here? I want to talk about the show. And like whoever saw it came over because I don't want to spoil it for them because I still want to watch it. I'm like, hey, you guys hear that Beck's not dead? And they started fucking. They're like, what?
Like, I mean, in
No
my
one thought
defense,
about it.
I didn't have time to think about it.
But
I
hey,
I, I just finished
if you think about the scene, she just gets dragged off.
because
Anticlimactic.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall here. You told me to text you when I was ready
Uh huh.
because you wanted to record, and
Uh-huh.
you never texted me back. And I was glad you didn't because I was almost late to work earlier because I was watching the show. And I finished the last episode I watched was when she found out that he was crazy. So I was on the last episode.
And
Like
then
I was,
went to work.
yeah.
That's yo. I would have quit.
And then so I couldn't wait to come home to watch it. And since you didn't text me back, I was like, all right, I'm gonna hurry up and finish watching this because I need to know what happens next.
Wow, that nap I took really, worked out. We got to review it today. It's just if it even is a review, it's just basically this like, wow, this is a great thing, and we think you should watch it. It's more of like a recommendation, like, hey,
Advertisement.
yeah.
Pay us Netflix now.
hmm Well, I mean, we gave it spookies unanimously.
Yeah. It's really nowhere to go from here.
Yeah, I guess I'm Mike,
I'm Derek.
and keep it spooky.
Stay dooky.